Hello and welcome to our video. In this video, we'll be creating a network scanner in Python using ChatGPT. Now, you might have heard of ChatGPT in Twitter threads, in the news, and as well as on Instagram. What we'll be doing is we'll be creating a specific network scanner in Python with the help of ChatGPT. So we'll be just putting the prompt down and we'll see what it replies and we'll go back and forth and let's see how that works. Okay, to start with, obviously you need to start with the ChatGPT website. Now the link is in the description. You can just go to chat.openai.com. You'll have to create your own account, but if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you know how to do that, right? Now let's just get started. If you want the full code, just check out the timestamp in the description so you can just get the direct code. But let's get going. Now here, all you have to do is you just have to put down the prompt. So I'll just start with give me a Python script for network scanner and to search for a specific target. And I'll just hit enter. I'll just wait for some time. So we'll just wait for the response. Obviously, because the ChatGPT is smart enough, it will actually give you the Python code by itself. So if you notice on the screen right here, it has imported socket. Socket is a inbuilt Python module. And yeah, we have kept a target variable. So at the moment, it looks like the script is just checking if the target is up or down. So what we'll do is, because see, ChatGPT will never give you a direct answer, right? It will give you a basic framework, and from that framework you have to build upon. So at the moment, what we'll do is, once again, you can read this. The script uses socket module to check if a target IP address is reachable on port number 80 or not. The isUp function takes the IP address as an input and returns true if the target is reachable and false otherwise. Makes sense. In this example, the target IP address is set for 192.168.0.1, which usually is your own router, but you can change this IP address to whatever you wish to scan. So what at the moment I'll do is I'll just copy this. I'll open my VS Code. I'll paste this. Now, instead of the target, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put google.com and then let's just run. Let's see what happens. And google.com is up. So what we have created at the moment is a very simple ping command, right? Now, this might not be very useful. You might be thinking, well, what do I do? How am I scanning different ports? Well, wait for that. We'll just tell ChatGPT that, hey, listen, instead of just trying to scan for port number 80, why don't you scan for other ports which might be relevant to cybersecurity? So I'm just going to mention that to ChatGPT. Can you also scan for ports which are crucial to cyber security? So what it might do, let's hope, is actually it will give me an updated script with all those ports which might be useful for cybersecurity. So let's see. So this is the modified version. I believe it created a new function, and in that function we are also accepting port numbers. So it's going to try to connect to that specific port number and it will return true if it works. Otherwise it will return false. So we have given a target and it put a list of important port numbers, which is 22, 80, 443, 3389, 8080. We might even add more ports if we want to. And okay, I believe at the moment this might work. So yeah, in this script, the isOpen function takes a target IP address and a port number as an input and returns true. If the port number is open, false otherwise. The important ports list connects the important port numbers that are common ports, right? So SSH runs on port number 22, HTTP is on port number 80, HTTPS is on 443, RDP, which is the remote desktop protocol, runs on 3389, and HTTP alternative, which is 8080, runs on that. Okay, once again, these are the important ports. You can definitely change them if you want to. So I'll just copy this code. I'll go back to my VS Code. I'll hit Control A and then paste this. And instead of going for 192.168.0.1, which is our router, and I do not wish to bring down the whole system, so I'll just search this on google.com. Let's run this and let's see what happens. So port number 22 is not open on Google. So google.com has the following ports open, which is 80 and 443. Now what I'll do is I might even change this to localhost, which all of you might know is your own IP address. I can even type for 127.0.0.1, which once again is the exact same thing as localhost. Now on my MacBook, port number 22 for SSH is always open. So let's see if that works. So 127.0.0 has the following ports open, and it just says 22. Right now, once again, you can modify the script any way you want. For example, instead of just printing out that hey, these are the open ports, what you can do is you can put an if statement which can, so let's just do that, right? So for example, what I can do is if 22 in open ports, then I can just say print SSH, if I don't make any mistakes, SSH is open. And I can just run the script again. And what it will do is it will just print that, hey, SSH is open here. So if there is a very specific port that you always want to be notified for, let's just run the Python file. So as you can see, it says that, hey, SSH is open. Right now, once again, if you do not know Python, or if you are more or less like a script kiddie, what you can do is you can just tell ChatGPT add a print statement which will notify when port number 22 is open. So once again, you can just ask ChatGPT a very normal question, and what will happen is ChatGPT will usually give you an updated script, and it might be better at Python than I am, so it will just give you an entire script. Let's see what happens. So far the original script is the same, and we'll just wait a few more seconds. Open ports equals this for port in important ports if is open target. Yeah, so it did exactly what I wrote, which is if port equals 22, then print port 22 is open on target. In fact, let me just copy the code and let's paste this here. And once again, change our target to localhost so that we can actually see port number 22 open. So once again, the output might be a little bit different, but as you can see, port number 22 is open on localhost. Localhost has the following ports open, which is 22, right? Once again, you can tell it whatever you want. If you want to add more ports, you can just tell it, add more important ports here on the list. So it will find more important ports. So let's just see that you might have a port number, let's say for the SMB protocol, right? You might have a port number for MySQL service. You might have for FTP, right? So certainly, let's just see what happens. Once again, ChatGPT in the free version is like super duper slow. So let's hope soon there will be a paid version. But let's see. So that took a while, right? As you can see, it is adding a list of important ports. So it added port number 21, 23, and 25 for like FTP, and then you have, your SMTP protocol and all that stuff, right? So it keeps on adding more important port numbers. And I think it took that like way too seriously. And now it's just adding more than like 15 to 25 ports. Once again, if you don't want to scan for individual ports, what if you want to scan the entire port range? That can be arranged as well. Okay, once again, let's just let it finish and we'll just copy that specific part and let's just see. Once again, you might have noticed the change that we made that, hey, notify us if, port number 22 is open. You can see that is still in the code. Okay, so once again, depending on how much Python you can change this, but let's see. Okay, so the code is done. I'll just copy this. I'll put it here and paste. Now, as you can see, there are so many different important ports. Once again, if you do not wish to go for if you do not wish to go for these ports, and what if you want just every single port, what you can do is instead of writing for port in important ports, once again, this result could be achieved by just asking ChatGPT, but it is like super slow. So instead of doing that, I can just say that, hey, for port in range, and I'll just write the range going from 0, and if you guys know this, 65535. So I'll be basically checking every single port, and let's run the script and let's see what happens. Hopefully it runs and not crash my laptop. Oh, it might be checking for port number 0. Let's not do that. Oh, I see the issue. We are checking this on our router, and our router does not like that. We'll be checking this on localhost. And let's see. Yeah, so port number 22 is a hit. I believe it is still checking for more port numbers. It is also, yeah, localhost has the following open ports, which is 22, 5000, 7000, 4900, 49,176, 55,545, 56,703. Now, these are some random ports. I have no idea what they are. They might be just OBS running in the background, or WhatsApp, or any mail server running in the background. But hopefully you guys get the gist of it. Okay, this is the basic code. You can develop so much more on it. Okay, this is not using a service like Nmap. This is just using sockets on Python. Okay, once again, if you want to search for more targets, what you can do is, you can, instead of just putting one target, you can create a for loop, and that might just have multiple targets, a list of targets, or maybe the entire subnet. The limit is literally your imagination and your coding skills, right? So with that, hopefully this made sense. So hopefully that made sense to all of you. The entire code will be down in the description below. It would be on a GitHub. So if you just want to copy the code, you can definitely do that. But I would encourage all of you to just create a new account on ChatGPT and just get started. ChatGPT is an amazing resource, not just for programmers, developers, but even for people who are in cybersecurity, right? Be it VAPT or just malware analysis in general, right? ChatGPT is amazing. I would encourage all of you to just go out there, create your own accounts. Sometimes the ChatGPT might be down here or there, but just wait for 1 day or 24 hours and just go again on the site, create your accounts. I cannot stress how good of a tool this is, and knowing it certainly makes your life a lot easier. For more tips and updates, keep on following us. Also, like, share, and comment. If you are getting any issues or doubts, feel free to reach out us in the comments, right? We have an amazing community which we have just started on Telegram, so you can also find the link for that in the description. You can reach out to us on our communities and or in the comments. With that, Aman out. Fearless. Fearless.